Welcome back to the Upper Tier Podcast, the podcast that we bring you on the Dynamo Podcast Network each and every week. Available on YouTube. Head over there, smash that subscribe button and bell notification button. And tonight we bring you our Monday show, which is called the Monday Mashup. Joining me tonight, we have Carl Sherlock, Craig Byrne, Graham Cummins, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, making his debut tonight on the show. Mark Hogan, as always, a podcast OG. Wayne O'Riordan, we found a Man City fan. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Dean Malone, making his debut on the show. Darren Kuminski, making his debut on the show. And Anthony Farrell, making his debut on the show. Lads, brilliant to have you all on. How y'all doing?
All the debutants on. What's going on?
Fantastic.
Brilliant. Right, so we're going to get into this. Let's pull this apart. Some fans here very upset tonight. Other fans mildly happy, and other fans very happy. Wayne, I'm going to start at the top of the pile. Man City, eight on the bounce. Absolutely took advantage of Liverpool's shoddiness.
Nine on the bounce now.
9 on the bounce now, is it? Yeah, we like those braggers on the show, don't we? 9 on the bounce. Fair play. What you thinking at the moment? You must be ecstatic at the moment, considering De Bruyne and Aguero and all around. You're absolutely flying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Phil Foden, like what a player he's turned out to be. He's the star man for us. Gundogan, Diaz, everyone's playing, pulling it all together, and it's just a joy to watch. Yesterday, obviously, I was a bit nervous going into that game. Liverpool at Anfield, regardless of form, it's still Liverpool at Anfield, and the way the lads pulled their socks up yesterday after that goal going in was superb. Superb. I'm surprised my voice hasn't gone yet, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's just fantastic as a fan. It's everything you want, from the club. Yeah,
it was an absolutely brilliant display yesterday, in fairness. Even though we handed them on a plate, you still have to take them, you know what I mean? And, but by far in the league at the moment, just head and shoulders above everyone else, Moving on to Con there, Everton. Last gasp winner, Calvin Lewin. You must have been ecstatic.
Last gasp equaliser.
Yeah, last gasp equaliser, I should have said. Yeah, absolutely. What was you thinking?
Oh, man. It's just the difference is Ancelotti. That's what it is. It's like the players are playing great, but like the difference is Ancelotti. The way he just changed the system in the second half. We played a totally different game. Caught United out in the first 10 minutes. Banged in 2 quick ones. James with a bit of genius. Decore playing well. Tom Davies just ruling the midfield. We were very lucky, I suppose, to snatch the equaliser at right at the death. But like, lucky, you make your own luck. Like, that's a cliche, but you fucking do. Like, you make your own luck, and the delivery was quality. Keane got a touch on it. It should, like, the keeper should have just came out and fucking, like, I don't know what the United fans think. Like, I don't mind United fans. Liverpool fellas, I have a problem with. Let's just be honest, like. Giving us this shit, the fucking, like, it couldn't have been a better weekend for me, to be honest. You know what I mean? It could not have been a better weekend. And I'm confident. I'm very confident. I actually think we might even sneak. Like, at the start of the season, I was like, if we get top 6, I was delighted. But I actually think we're right in the mix the way we're playing, and we've got, like, if you look at our squad against Liverpool squad, for example, Liverpool pound for pound have a better squad, but they're playing with no confidence, no belief. And Everton on the other side, like, their players are probably on paper not as gifted, and we're just playing with belief and know-how, and we're grinding out results. We just need a little bit more consistency. But we're not losing, and we should have lost that match. That game should have been wrapped up. United's very bad time management with the last 5 minutes. But yeah, we fucking take it, man. Take it.
Do you know what's going to be scary with Everton? Like, you've got quality all over the park there, but if you go out in the summer and you buy a world-class goalkeeper, you're going to be a real force in the league next season. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you can really see it.
I think we need to I couldn't agree with you more. Both keepers are shit. To be honest, both keepers are shit. Like I'm giving out about Pickford for fucking the last 2. I've given out Pickford since we signed him, and that goal, like that. Like, he didn't move for that last goal, for that last United goal yesterday, and he wasn't even getting his game in Italy last year. So, but that's fine. I do think we need to strengthen in every area, actually. I think we need to strengthen in defence, midfield, and up front. But we have a good base, and if we get if we can come out of this lockdown and kind of be closer to coming into our stadium as well, I mean, the future is bright. We're the next Man City, basically, you know.
Oh,
See you later, Liverpool. Look, 30 more years. And their season, it couldn't be sweeter. Do you know, I mean, last year's league doesn't really count. You can't count it. Like, I mean, there's just several reasons why you can't count it, but we won't go into it. I know they can't even come back this season and back it up. It's just beautiful to watch it. Just capitulate. Like,
if anyone hasn't followed Con yet on Facebook, Con follows 19 Premiership teams. just check it out on Facebook. It's absolutely brilliant. Plus anyone we've played in the FA Cup and the Champions League. He's a fan of them all. You must have some wardrobe of jerseys down there. It's fantastic.
It's just a coincidence.
Absolutely brilliant. Carl, talk to me about United, and I don't really want to hear about the brilliance of Bruno Fernandes. We're gone beyond that on this show now.
I'll leave that, but I'll leave that be. But honestly, yesterday felt like a defeat. Yesterday, the last kick of the game, basically, it felt like a complete another defeat. I'm tired of complaining about De Gea. I think he should definitely be dropped tomorrow when we're going up against West Ham. Perfect time to do it with the FA Cup. So it was like I was going to play him anyway, so you don't have that whole thing about dropping your keeper. I don't know. It's just we make too many individual mistakes, and that was blatant there the other day. And De Gea is just, I think it's his time is up. He hasn't been the same the last couple of years, and it's cost us probably 6 or 7 points this season alone.
I seen a graphic today that showed United's midfield and forward line like a Bentley, and our back line looks like a Skoda. And I just thought it was hilarious. I just and you know, I don't get Harry Maguire because he was a proper baller at Leicester. I just don't get it. Mark, come in and talk to me about United. I see you there with the Premiership trophy. Somehow I don't think the colour of the ribbons is going to be correct this year for some reason.
I'll have to get a long away and scarf now to put around it.
That's it. Talk to me about Maguire and De Gea specifically.
Well, obviously De Gea, like he's done wonders for us over many years, but like he's getting exposed now because Lindelof and Maguire together is not a partnership going forward for United. You know, they're not, you know, they don't complement each other. If you have Boy there, you know, he's a bit of speed, he's a bit of aggression about him. You're seeing Harry Maguire there, Calvert-Lewin going through the back of him in the 86th minute. Could you imagine Vidic or Stam going down that easily? Do you know what I mean? He's cost us games, you know, and the whole De Gea thing, he'll be dropped tomorrow, Henderson coming in, but he hasn't been right all season. Even Con, you probably remember the free kick you scored against us in Goodison at the start of the season. He conceded a terrible one against Ward Prowse in St. Mary's against Southampton. His confidence, I don't know where it's gone, but it's not there. I'd love to see Henderson get a little run in the team and see how he can do, because again, it's tough for him coming in. It was like Sergio when he was coming in for cup games. It's tough for them. But I'd like to see Henderson get a chance, and hopefully we can go out in the summer now and get centre half in, you know.
Yeah, very good. Darren, I don't know if you caught the interview with Bruno after the game, but he was only short of saying basically the back line is crap. You know, he basically nearly threw those boys in directly under the bus. What was your thinking on it, Darren?
Yeah, I don't think he was wrong, really, was he? Like you said, you're looking at a Ferrari from the front and a fucking Skoda from the back. I definitely agree with what the last lad said there. Boy's a much bigger upgrade on Lindelof. There's not enough pace between Lindelof and Maguire to handle anything like that. As soon as Everton played the balls down the channels and Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin got onto it, they ripped us asunder. And they always look dangerous, even though we, dominated possession of the ball. As soon as the ball went down the sides, you thought we could be in trouble here. And to be honest with you, I was actually waiting on someone to maybe get a red, because the two boys were struggling so much for pace. I thought, one of these gets turned and pulls a jersey here or something, or the last man, we could be in trouble here. I think Boy gives us a little bit of athleticism that he could have maybe kept up with the boys and got a tackle in and stuff like that. But I don't think it's just the two centre-halves. Like, we're talking about De Gea's making his mistakes. Shaw's been good in the last few weeks, but Wan-Bissaka hasn't had an amazing season for me. I think he's struggling with the balance of what United are looking for. Obviously, we've had, when you look at the two lads at Liverpool going forward, they're amazing. And I think Robertson, out of the two of them, probably has found a better balance that he can go forward and defend. I think Trent needs to work on that. I think Wan-Bissaka was the opposite way around. He could defend. And now he's added into his game that he wants to go forward, and all of a sudden we're getting caught out with the back again. Because a lot of the balls down the line were played down that side of the pitch, at our right back position. And they knew what they were doing because they knew he wasn't going to be there. He was high because he was thinking he's thinking a right wing back rather than a right back. And that left us exposed as well. Now listen, the keeper should have just absolutely lambasted Calvert-Lewin and stuck him in Rosette, but he's not that kind of a keeper. He's a shot stopper. He's like Dracula. He's afraid of bleeding crosses. When you see the ball coming into the box, you never think he's going to claim this. He's going to take control of this situation. He's not. But European keepers don't do that. I think we have a better opportunity if Henderson comes in, that he may control the box and he may come and take it and get us on the front foot rather than have us on the back.
Yeah, sounds good.
Pickford.
Yeah, have Pickford in the summer if you want. Yeah,
I wouldn't let Pickford in with a fucking ticket, man.
We'll give you a few bob for him.
Let's start the bidding. Anthony, talk to me about Luke Shaw. He's been absolutely outstanding this season. Apart from Bruno, he's probably been your best player.
I actually like Luke Shaw, to be honest with you. For some reason, with Telles coming in, he's sparked his little bit of form that he had at Southampton back. So Luke, I don't know why everything else in the back has gone wrong when, say, Luke Shaw can have a cracking game. Wan-Bissaka, I think Darren was saying that he hasn't had the best season. He hasn't. So he is a cracking player. If we can keep him fit, keep him fit, he's a cracking player. He can have a great string of games under his belt. Probably even keep Telles out. You know what I mean? But God knows what could happen if Luke Shaw gets injured and then we have them numpties in the back. You know what I mean? God knows what could happen then because you have De Gea acting the maggot. Maguire keeping 4 basically players on side. You know what I mean? But for me, to be honest with you, Luke Shaw is probably the most trusted defenders we have, like, at the moment, if you ask me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you reckon Solskjaer would have it in him to drop Maguire?
No.
No, I don't think so. No, I think it's his name and his price tag is like, no way, you can't drop him or there'll be more in the background,
Very good. Dan,
your captain then as well.
Dan, talk to me about Liverpool. You weren't on the match reaction last night, Craig was, but give us your feeling on it.
I said it yesterday, right? So the front three just haven't performed well in the past, 5-6 games. Bobby Firmino especially hasn't been great. He pops up every 7 or 8 games, scores 1 goal, and everyone thinks he's the best thing in the league. It's just not the case. He hasn't been great. Salah hasn't been great either. You're missing Jota there now as well. The lad was banging in goals at the start of the season, got injured, and now we don't have that. Missing Henderson in the midfield as well. You had Colback on the bench there. Yes, he could have put him on, didn't. So, what are you really asking for?
Yeah, you're asking for a miracle really against a City team at the moment that are absolutely flying. I'm going to fly over to Graham there. Graham, I noticed this week you're wearing a Spurs jersey again. Last week it was hats.
Yeah.
Things must be good back at the Champagne Lane, are they? An outstanding win against West Brom, 2-0. Harry Kane back on the pitch again, looking like he never left. Talk to me.
I wouldn't say it was champagne stuff now. It was more of a struggling performance. Like a team against like West Brom, you should be banging 3, 4, 5 goals. Like, we should have done that in the first half with all the chances we missed. We are lucky that West Ham had 2 goals disallowed. If they would have been onside, they would have been back 2-2. We might have even lost it. The momentum seemed to be with West Brom. Really seemed to get the formation wrong again. You want to play defensive football after we go 2-0 up or 3-0 up, and then change the formation to defense. I just think that over the past few weeks, this was it needed 3 points after the the 3 defeats we had in a row. We are slipping down the table. We are looking behind us because teams are seen to be picking up points week in, week out. When we lose, other teams are winning. So we've gone from first to we're now in 8th. So we lose against Man City, and Aston Villa win their game, we could be 9th. And then who knows after that? We could be in the second half. We could be in the bottom half in 3 weeks' time. So the worrying time ahead now.
It's certainly an interesting league this year with the way things are moving all around in all areas of the league.
Yeah.
Games in hand are messing everything up.
I know.
Yeah, and with Europe coming back and the FA Cup, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
It's a headache for everyone.
Yeah. Mark, I want to switch over to you there. I read an article today. Mike Dean has been excused from weekend refereeing, or has asked to be excused from this week's matches refereeing amid dead threats that he has received.
Yeah.
You're a referee here with the FAI, with the DDSL. I'm sure you probably had the same thing, but just not to the same level. But talk to me about it. Like it's worrying times at the moment with these death threats and the racial abuse on social media and all. We're going to get on to talk about Axel as well. Absolutely disgusting the other night on social media.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. But talk to me about Mike Dean.
Yeah, like as much as we all probably dislike some of the decisions he's made, there's no need for death threats and stuff like that. You know, to go away. You're always going to get the Mike Dean show, no matter what. You know, the decision was ridiculous anyway. You know, to send the West Ham player off. Mitrovic was worse though, with his play acting as well, rolling around like he got bleeding shot, like, you know. But yeah, Mike Dean, it's just his personality, isn't he? He just wants to be in the headlines. You see it when he goes to watch Tranmere. He should be, you know, incognito, but he's there standing on top of the seats trying to get pictured for the newspaper, you know, that sort of a way. So that's the type of character he is. Like I said, we know what you get with him, but there's no need for all the death threats and abuse, you know.
I don't think it's helping at the moment either that like these past referees are coming out with sort of stuff in their book talking about how Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira and players like that used to influence their decisions back in the day. Now, I mean, apart from Man United fans and Arsenal fans, we all knew it was happening anyway. But like, I don't think it's helping the cause at the moment because, you know, some of those decisions at the moment that referees are getting wrong with the use of VAR and stuff like that is absolutely crazy. And that coupled with these stories of biographies coming out saying, you know, Keane only had to stare at me and I gave him a corner and all this kind of thing that's going on.
I missed those days.
Yeah. Con, what you were thinking on this stuff? I mean, the Axel stuff and the Mike Dean stuff that's going on at the moment on social media.
It's all bad. That's a society question, even, like, you know what I mean? It's a societal thing. It's like it's just been more intensified now because people are online all way more because of lockdown, and fucking, you know, we're being caged up. I mean, it's a society question. Like, people are unable to unleash their frustration through roaring at the matches, and, you know, that's a kind of I suppose it is a predominantly male thing, you know, to go to the matches and be vitriolic and scream and shout and whatever. So when you're denied that and you're at home and then there's obviously the decision was absolutely ridiculous. And I agree, Mitrovic acted like a little bitch, you know, but then some people just don't know how to react. And obviously it's just disgusting, you know, but I'm not surprised. I really am surprised. You know, you like even what happened to Ian Wright there with a fella from Kerry there, young fella from Kerry. You know, like, racism and bigotry is alive and well. Like, you know, it's alive and well, and it's festering now because of the way people are cooped up and whatnot. So I expect more, not less. Like, Rashford was attacked as well last week, you know. Obviously, I condemn it. I think it's fucking disgusting, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's just really is disgusting when you see it. You know what I mean? And you know, it's just it's hard to believe it in 2021, isn't it? That this sort of carry on still goes on, and like, you know, you don't even know where it's coming from. You know, like this could be coming even from, you know, I hate to say it, your own internal fan base. You know, this kind of thing, and it's just. You know, Chelsea had to deal with this stuff for years in their fan base in terms of this stuff, you know. It was just crazy.
It's unfortunate that it's going down that road rather than just saying you're shit. You've had a bad game. It's going down the road where it's racism. It's like you said, death threats.
Yeah.
Like just say you're shit. You're a dickhead. Whatever else. You know what I mean? Why do you have to go to the brutal extremes of racially abusing someone or messaging their personal social media abuse? Racist abuse. I don't get it.
Well, see, the problem at the moment as well with people suffering from their mental health with the COVID pandemic and stuff like that as well. It's really like, and these are young players, you know, they don't know how to deal with it. They're already trying to deal with, you know, yeah, but they're already trying to deal with the pandemic, keeping themselves safe, playing week in, week out, so we have that entertainment on our TV. And then they're also trying to deal with the riches of their sport. Like, these are young lads earning millions. And we think because they earn millions that people out there have a right to go in on these guys the way they do, that, because they're getting paid 150 grand or 200 grand a week, they should show up and just be messy every week. And that's the way it is. But that's not the case. And these guys, they really need to check themselves, and they think, especially at a time where so many young people, are getting affected by mental health. And we hear the tragedies of that, you know what I mean? Young football players are no different than any other young people in the world. They just have a different job. That's all. You know what I mean?
You see it every week on Twitter though. Like, even yesterday, Allison was getting death threats all over two mistakes, and it seems to be such a common theme now in football. When a keeper makes a mistake, a player makes a mistake, the death threats are being flying at them, and it's not like it's not on.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, sure. Aaron Conley had to come off social media there during the week because the abuse he was getting, But if you're going off the social media, then, the keyboard warriors are winning, They're getting their way.
Well, they're just sitting there waiting for you to come back, aren't they? Because they know they have you and they can press your button.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Let's have a look at this FA Cup preview coming up. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have matches. Obviously, I mean, the pick of the bunch really is United and West Ham and Everton and Tottenham. Con, what are you expecting from this? Everton, Tottenham, big game.
I'm expecting. We're at home. I'm expecting to win. Like, I watched the Spurs match. Spurs are heavily reliant on Kane. I know he scored now when he came back the last day, but they're very, very heavily reliant on Kane and Son, and they're counter-attacking. And I just think the way we're set up at the moment is great. And I can't remember the Spurs guy there, but he was like, I could sense the negativity coming off from the Mourinho. Mourinho's there now over 12 months, and their own fans now are like he has 12 to 18 months usually, and sadly I think it's starting to capitulate within. And then there's Spurs as well, like, you know what I mean? They're Spurs, like we should beat Spurs. Like Roy Keane used to say it years ago, like, come on, it's just Spurs, it's just Spurs.
Graham, what do you think?
I think it's a tough game, especially away from home, and the way we're playing at the minute, coming up against Everton, we need to be playing attacking, because it's like the fans have come out and said that the FA Cup is probably one of the cups, apart from the League Cup as well, that Mourinho probably want to bring to White Hart Lane. So it's a tough game to be away. We haven't had a home match in the FA Cup yet, so we get past this. Hopefully in the next round we might get a home draw. So, and with another midweek game coming up, it's not the best to be coming up with a match at the weekend as well. So
you're not convincing Con there at all. You don't sound convincing, Graham. You're coming off a good 2-0 win there where Harry came back. You should be
go away with
it. Carl, talk to me. United versus West Ham.
Well, with Souček back in, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. He got his red card rescinded. As I said earlier on, I think we're going to be playing Henderson in, so I'm a bit more confident in the goalkeeping there. I think it'll be a tight match, probably 3-2. United going through to the next round, because I can't see us keeping the clean sheet no matter who we have in defence or who in goal, because their defence is woeful. But I'm still confident enough for a win.
Okay, interesting. Darren, the Hammers.
Yeah, I don't fancy it at all, man, to be honest with you. because you know he's going to make the changes. I think he's already said Henderson will play. He's got to get lads games. I think he's probably going to play Tellez. He'll probably play Matic from a physical point of view, which slows things down for us in the middle and gives us, difficulty, getting legs around West Ham. And he'll probably play Donny, who's looked like a fish out of water at United. And maybe Martial. So I think it could be a tough night at the office. I wouldn't be overly positive about it, to be honest with you. I'd say we could see extra time maybe. Yeah.
Very good. Anthony.
The good shout with the extra time, all right, yeah, but I'm not confident. West Ham have a bit of form, don't they? Apart from the losing in the league, the game before league. But they've a bit of confidence. So, like, with their confidence, I'm not confident in United because they make so many changes. You know what I mean? I do think De Gea has to be dropped for a couple of matches, maybe 2, maybe just to see what happens with Hendo. You know what I mean? But with the lads that aren't playing as regular, they haven't had the time to gel with everybody else. You know what I mean? This constant rotation of the team is not doing the team any good. Like, I'm not confident. I'll go with a draw, maybe extra time as well. Maybe 1-1 draw in extra time.
Mark, you're after smashing Southampton 9-0. Give me a bit of positivity here. Come on, these boys aren't confident at all. What's going on?
But they've good reason. Like West Ham, since the start of December, have only been beaten twice against Chelsea and against Liverpool. They're on a good run at the minute, And like,
who was that beat them?
Chelsea.
And who else?
I can't. Some team from Merseyside. I don't know.
What was that last United Liverpool score?
Not as good as the one before it.
That's it. But now it is. I can see it going to extra time penalties. It's going to be a tough game. David Moyes always feels like he has something to prove when he comes up against United anyway. That's a boy. And like Darren was saying, there's going to be changes. I could even see probably Mata even starting tomorrow, to be honest with you.
He's doing an outstanding job at West Ham, isn't he, Moyes? Like, they're playing brilliant football.
6th place in the league. They're doing great.
Does anyone think if Moyes got the same time as Solskjaer at United, could things have been different for him?
The United job was too big for him.
Is Jesse Lingard allowed to start, or?
No, I think it's a loan deal, isn't it?
No,
it's a loan deal.
The thing about Moyes with us was he came from Everton. No offense, Con, but his style was totally different. He set up not to lose, where Solskjaer is going out to try play attacking football, which is the DNA in
You're right,
that's the difference,
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I actually think that the winner of Everton and Tottenham this year is going to win the cup. I really do, without a shadow of a doubt.
Hello,
over City.
Hello.
you gotta concentrate in the Champions League. Don't be worried about those domestic.
Do we want to go out in the quarters or do we want to go out in the semi-final this year? Oh Jesus!
How much of that Carabao stuff do you guys need?
Sending it to us in the post and everything. They don't know what to do with it anymore. So.
Getting so consumed about winning a cup that has 3 handles on it. Come on.
That's so we don't drop it like the last one.
Stop, Wayne. You're better than that. Don't do it. Don't do it yourself. So one question I want to ask is in terms, we talk about the romance of the cup, and I'm a Liverpool fan, so I don't really have anything in this game at the moment. How Craig, I'll ask you, I know you're a Liverpool fan, but how do you feel about the romance of the cup? Because our gaffer at the moment just seems to throw these 2 cups away and doesn't care.
He's trying, when the FA Cup comes around, even in past seasons, like he's just kind of like, whatever, especially regarding the FA Cup. As a fan, I would love a run in it, like a good run in it, kind of like previous that we had against Arsenal. Because the romance, I think, still is there. When you get to the latter rounds, like you obviously believe you can win it and you want to win it. And as a fan, this time around, fair play to United, they put us out at Old Trafford, rightfully so. But weirdly enough, in the situation that's unfolded, I think, being out of it isn't too bad this time. We get a full week to kind of get ourselves together and regroup. I'm talking about at this moment in time now, in our situation. We have a full week to prepare, sort everything out and try and get back to hopefully winning ways on Saturday against Leicester. But I do envy like the lads in the later rounds and stuff, I always want a good cup run.
Yeah, there's nothing like a final
Yeah.
at Wembley. The one thing, Con, I'd say to you, I mean, Everton obviously for years were like big cup team as well. You know what I mean? And spent plenty of time at Wembley. Does it mean more really to the fans? Like, I mean, you guys now are, you're pushing for, top 6, and the top 4 isn't out of the question either. The way this league is going this season, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, would you prefer to win an FA Cup or get a top 4 spot? What
I would prefer
Yeah.
is I would prefer to win the FA Cup.
Win the FA Cup.
We won the FA Cup in '95. We beat Spurs in the semi-final. On the way there, just to put that in there.
I know what's coming next now. I know what's coming next.
And then we played a team called, I don't know if you've ever heard of Manchester United in the final. Paul Rideout got the goal, but that was '95. So like that was 20 odd years ago. I remember like it was
26
yesterday. So we need to win something is what we need. And like I obviously would love to get into the Champions League, but I don't think Everton are ready for the Champions League. But we could sneak a cup. We could we should beat Spurs, and then on our day, bar probably an in-form flying Man City, I fancy us on our day to give anyone a game. So yeah, I take the cup. I take the cup and first, in top the Premier League as well. Take the Premier League and the cup, the double. That's what I want.
Yeah. See, I think Everton would be well suited to European football, because I can't imagine any European teams wanting to come to Goodison on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night. And if you got in like a top keeper, that would make such a
Still
difference.
have Alan to come back into that team as well, who's like a really good engine and massive to the team as well. It's been a great.
Alan's been a big loss, yeah.
But
he has been a big loss.
Even having the experience of Ancelotti there as manager with his European pedigree would be huge. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
Well, like when I say I don't think we're ready yet, I think we are about we don't have any depth on our bench at all, really quality. And I do think if you're going to play in Europe and if you're going to try and, I suppose the main aim would be to get out of your first group anyway. That's a reasonable success. That's an added 8 games. That's actually an added 10 games onto your season. You need a depth. You need strength and depth. We could very easily, it's a weird season. We could finish 3rd, 4th, even 2nd if we win our games in hand. It's unlikely. I think it's unlikely. But if we did, I think it probably would be, unless we have massive investment during the summer, which we have the money for. It would be beyond us. But I'd love it. I'm not going to say no. I'd love it.
Absolutely. Wayne. Yeah. Now that you're that far ahead in the league, I mean, you're saying, your home ground basically is nearly Wembley at this stage, isn't it? The way.
Look. Well, I mean, the last time we played Swansea, if you remember, we scraped a 3-2 win with a dodgy refereeing decision, some might say. So playing Swansea in the next round, it's the cup, And I think, like you were saying about the magic of the cup, I think Pep Guardiola's brought a resurgence to that, because if you look, there's only 3 non-Premier League teams left, and it's the 5th round. All the little clubs have been. Why are all the bigger teams trying to go for the cup now? Because managers like Pep Guardiola are pushing, win every trophy. There's no excuses not to. Why not? You're a top team. You've got to try win everything. It's easy to say that with the last few years and the runs we've been on, but I don't think the magic of the cup's lost at all now. There's no harm lit winning silverware.
Well, the beauty of City at the moment is they probably have a second 11 that could get top 6 in the league anyway. So it's that's the struggle against those teams,
People always sing about how good Man City are, but people forget, once like when Salah's got that equaliser the other day, how do you think I felt? My heart sank. I went, City collapse incoming, and to watch the lads, like I said, pull their socks up and just dig it out. It was brilliant. Man City don't do well from a goal behind. They don't do well, when there's pressure on. You attack Man City, and there is cracks there. Now Diaz is changing that as well. Diaz, the partnership with Stones, it's fantastic. But time will tell. Time will tell.
So the bet this week is Swansea to score first, yeah?
Oh,
Graham, talk to me about Spurs, the magic of the cup. I mean, you'd donate a limb nearly to win a cup, would you?
Yeah, definitely. I I've been through so many times like we go out early of certain cups, like the League Cup, we might go out early. Like the third round of the FA Cup, you might go out early. Some seasons we might get to the quarters, we go out. Like we're like the League Cup this year, we're into the final. We'll give that a go against City. We don't know what shape of mind both teams will be in that stage with Europe coming back into it. We need to win. We need to win something eventually, because it's been too long, and the slagging seems to keep coming every time we lose. You know, we lose the semi-final, we lose here and there. You know, we lost Champions League final. It was slagging, but if you're not on your game, like, you're not going to win it. So what's the excuses? Like,
well, your United friends on here know all about losing semi-finals, so we're gonna have a chat with them.
Way too many.
Darren, the romance of the cup.
Yeah, if only I'd have lost a few semis in the past, maybe I wouldn't have had 3 kids. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it has lost a little bit of it. For me personally, it hasn't. I love the cup, you know. I remember being a little kid and watching that Everton United final that Con was talking about earlier. And like, they were special days, because you did get a surprise. I don't fancy surprises in the cup as much now. In what Wayne was saying there's a lot of top teams through. Like United, not in the last round obviously, but United, City, they've all been able to give players rests and still beat the lower league teams. Like one of the teams Liverpool put out, it was a dreadful side, and they still beat one of the lower league teams. I think the cup is becoming more difficult for the lower league sides to get into, because the Premier League squads are getting so much bigger, and even you've got the younger players coming up that are trying to get a game, in a squad, and they think FA Cup game, I might get a run out there. I'd love to see United go on and win it, because I think we need a trophy. But again, it's going to be tough, man. There's another couple of big games. You've West Ham first. You've got City left in it. You'll have Spurs or Everton. It's not going to be easy to win this year.
Yeah, definitely not. And I mean, Chelsea's still in there. Wolves, Southampton. A lot of teams. Leicester's still in there. I'm hoping they all go through, so they drop out of the top 4 and we can scoot past them. I'm hoping they all get. I'm hoping they all get consumed by the romance of the cup, and we can just focus on the league. That's what I'm praying for.
Well, the mighty have fallen.
I think you were saying earlier about. Heard you saying earlier about Everton for the Champions League. I think the likes of that can be detrimental for teams like Everton, because
I agree.
With a squad that thin, I've looked at the Everton bench for a few weeks, and 2 or 3 times I've looked at it and go, I don't know who that kid is. You're seeing names come up, and playing on a Wednesday night away in, if it's Zenit or if it's Portugal or wherever it is, and then having to come back for the weekend can be detrimental. So I'd say Everton be much better off just, consolidating maybe a top 6 spot for this year, even 7 to be fine, and winning that cup, getting the silverware in the cabinet, building in the summer, and then next year going, right, now we really have a roll at this.
But then you're probably nearly as detrimental, because you're going into Thursday night European football, which is way worse.
Well, Thursdays are 100% worse. 100% worse. Yeah, don't disagree with you.
Yeah, it's
Thursdays
a weird
are a curse.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Con. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Con.
No, it's a weird one. Like, I mean, if you finish 5th or 6th and you're playing on a Thursday, it has, like, I agree completely that our squad isn't strong enough to sustain a proper European run, to do ourselves justice, and it will be to the detriment. And you see with all the, like, we were in Europe a couple of years ago, we nearly got relegated. Like, it wasn't until about maybe 10 games before the end of the season before we started to pull away, because it sucked us in. Thin squad. The squad has to have quality, and then, like, if you're in that cup on a Thursday night, the what they call the Cup Winners' Cup, the Euro Cup Winners' Cup, you should have the ambition to win it, not just to compete in it. It's a different feeling if you're playing in Champions League. There's pride in playing in the group stages of the Champions League, but playing in the group stages against fucking Mickey Mouse teams from Malta, there's no, like, it's almost, everyone gets the piss taken out of them when you're playing in that competition until you get to the latter stages. So yeah, it's a kind of a weird one. We're nearly probably better off to to finish 7th or 8th. But then if you win a cup, then you're in there. Yeah, it's just a weird one, like, you know.
Yeah, I suppose you have to look at the fact as well. If you did qualify to the Champions League, it comes with those riches, and you've more money to spend potentially on players, you know. And you can also attract in a better caliber of player because they all want to play Tuesday, Wednesday nights, you know. So, but yeah, this has been a great chat. You know what I mean? It's going well. You know, I mean, next week, just to let you know, next week coming up on the Monday mashup, we're going to be diving back into European football, restarting again on Tuesday. Obviously, we'll have a look at the weekend review as well, but it'll be great to have European football back, you know. We'll probably take a quick look back as well at the FA Cup and see what unfolded in it.
Can I just ask the lads as well, as a competition, like, to me it's lost a bit. I know without the fans now, but do you remember when the semi-finals used to be in like Villa Park and Old Trafford? I think it's taken away from it a bit now. It's all in Wembley. That's
completely.
I'd love to see it back into that type of format, you know. I think it'd be more interesting.
I completely agree. As everyone you just said earlier, Man City's all second ground is Wembley, but we're playing the semi-finals and finals in Wembley, you know. So you're you know, so you're in the Carabao Cup as well, FA Cup. We're there constantly, you know, and I completely agree. It's better that when you have a neutral ground for the semis or even the quarterfinals, you know, if you wanted to go that far with it. But
it's only for City. You got to remember, Wayne, with City, like, it's harder to sell 50,000 tickets than it is 15,000. So yeah, that's why Villa Park might suit you better than Wembley.
You go away, don't buy the tickets for us.
I love those clubs.
There is one thing I will say about the FA Cup. The thing that's detrimental to it and has brought the value of it whole down is, I think, that the Premier League fixtures are now being played on the same weekend as the FA Cup final. So it wasn't special anymore. You used to get this whole build up throughout the whole day of, right, all the lads are arriving at the hotel. What they went through everything, what they're having for breakfast, what they're doing getting all the match prepared all the way through the day. It was something to build up to. Now there's a match on beforehand. You don't get all this build up, so you'd lose some of the, you know, specialness of the cup. I think
all you get is teams before the match. That's it.
Exactly. You'd lose all that.
And no songs either, no singles. Remember, come on, your Reds and all.
It doesn't give me enough time to dust down my ivory white suit now. Dean, what you were thinking? The romance of the FA Cup.
Oh, I love the FA Cup. Even a fan of any club, you love the FA Cup. Well, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, would love a good one this year now, given that's the only cup that Klopp hasn't won. But we'll take what was given to us.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. you can hear my enthusiasm.
I know, but like, I mean, I sat there.
Go on, yeah.
I sat there watching with my brother, and he's a massive United fan. And I turned around and I was watching Bruno banging a pen on the 86th minute, and the fucker gets a free kick in the 87th. So basically, jinxed it myself, like. But I mean, that's the joy of the cup.
Sure, winning the Champions League and the Premier League 1 year after you were going, Jesus, I'd love to win an FA Cup.
Well, you haven't won.
Wayne, you'll notice he didn't say a Carabao Cup, so it's not too bad. You know what I mean? It's not too bad.
It's pronounced Man City Cup nowadays.
Oh, I'll tell you. So let's
You're only used to just go and win them all in one season, lads.
We beat Arsenal with their reserves team last season in a Carabao Cup. So
now, when you say all of them, do you mean that World Club Cup and that Super Cup, or what are you talking about?
No, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League.
Are we going to get into a discussion about that Mickey Mouse treble now, or what's the story here?
I was waiting for that to come up. I was waiting for that.
You're talking about the Milk Cup next.
Lads, I still have the cushion. Don't talk to me. I'm hanging on for dear life here, you know what I mean? Con looks shocked. What the hell was that? Yeah, well, let's do a bit of admin. As I said earlier, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. Head over there, subscribe, like, share, all that other good stuff that we need to keep us going. So that bit of admin. Mark, Hogan Elite Trophy here. Talk to me. Tell them where you can sort it out if it's still needed at the moment, or if people want personal house stuff.
Yeah, no, just after lockdown, going to Hogan Elite Trophy Hire on Facebook. Mention the podcast and we'll look after you for all the trophies if you wanted to hire them out for weddings, communions, whatever events, or if you're just an Everton fan and you want a trophy in your house.
we have.
Does someone want to explain to Spurs what a trophy is?
See that silver thing that's shining off his face there, Grant?
Mark, you might as well give Wayne your number there. Look, he's trying to make you there.
Connie has the proper blue coloured ribbons as well. No hassle, like whatever you need. You know? Carl, talk to me about the new podcast, the Sherlock Reel.
The Sherlock Reel. I started up there last weekend, and we had Ted on from Retrotainment, and we battled it through. We had a bracket of 32 films, and we went through and we battled out to try and find the best 80s action film of all time. And so you can tune into that if you want to see what it is. And we are going to be doing it once a week. I have a slew of guests on different each and every different week. And this week, because it's Valentine's Day, it's going to be rom-coms, but I have load of other ones coming up soon.
Brilliant. And unless it's Predator, I'm not subscribing. End off.
It got pretty far.
Excellent. Con, talk to me. Tell me about the new podcast, Conversations with Cornelius.
Yeah. So it's just I'm a comedian, and obviously we've got no work and stuff like that. So I just started up a podcast just to fucking do something, you know. But it's good. The last episode there was with Ty Kiki and Dominic McHale. You know, the Young Offenders. Did you ever watch that? The Young Offenders.
Yeah.
The guard from the Young Offenders. They're friends of mine, so that's pretty mad. Next week, I'm doing the story on why and how I became an Everton fan. So that might be of interest to some football fans out there, maybe the 2 or 3 other Everton supporters in Ireland.
Wayne will join. Wayne will watch it because he's no buddies. He's a Man City fan. He's on his own out there.
There's a couple of Blackburn fans coming along as well to watch it. Or to listen to it. But it's just comedy content, and it's light and breezy, conversational style. 30 minutes every episode. Conversations with Cornelius, and it's on all the places where you get your podcasts.
Brilliant, excellent. We'll share all that stuff in the video anyway. So obviously, it's been brilliant having you on, guys. It's always great to chat on a Monday night after such a depressing Sunday for guys like me. You know what I mean? So
that was fantastic Sunday for me, man. To be honest.
Wayne, you need to stop that right now.
We haven't won at Anfield since what? How old was Phil Foden? Did he say 2 years old the last time we won at Anfield?
2003.
Still only about 14 though. And he ripped Liverpool in 2.
Fantastic.
I'd go as far as Alisson, not the whole of Liverpool. Stop.
What was Henderson doing for that goal as well? Oh yeah, he was watching, wasn't he? He thought he'd take part in being one of the fans.
He was wondering what he was doing in the box when he should have been in midfield.
That's true as well, mate. That's bloody true.
Lads, brilliant as always. Great talking to you. We'll have you all on again soon. Absolutely excellent. So take it easy. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Miles.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.